Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into the world of David Goggins. Quite a figure, retired Navy SEAL, incredible endurance athlete, and, well, a pretty intense motivational speaker.
Definitely intense. His life story is something else.
Right. And our mission today is really to unpack how his journey shows that maybe the limits we think we have are, well, mostly in our heads.
Self-imposed barriers, exactly.
And hopefully we can pull out some actionable stuff, memorable ideas for you listening.
Absolutely. And to really get Goggins, you kind of have to start at the beginning. He was born in 75, Buffalo, New York.
Not an easy start, from what I understand.
No, not at all. His home life was incredibly abusive, impoverished too, led to a lot of toxic stress early on.
That kind of trauma has lasting effects.
For sure. He developed a bad stutter, struggled massively in school, partly because of severe racial bullying he faced. It was a really, really tough foundation.
Which makes this transformation just staggering. So how does someone go from that to forging such like an iron will?
Well, the first big shift, I guess, was joining the Air Force back in 94. But the really Goggins-esque move came later.
You mean the weight loss?
Yeah, exactly. He needed to lose over 100 pounds, just an insane amount of weight, really quickly, to even meet the standards for Navy SEAL training.
Wow. Just to qualify.
Right. That alone tells you something about his drive, even back then.
And then things just escalated, didn't they? By
Wow.
2001, he achieves this trifecta.
It's unparalleled, really. He's the only person to complete Navy SEAL training.
ODS, Hell Week, all of it.
All of it. Plus, Army Ranger School.
Yeah.
And Air Force Tactical Air Control training.
Directing airstrikes and coordinating support. 3 elite programs across 3 different branches. It's just unheard of.
Completely. And you see that same extreme discipline carry over after the military. He pivots to ultra endurance sports.
Right, like it wasn't enough already.
Apparently not. He's done over 60 ultra marathons. We're talking races like the Badwater 135.
The one through Death Valley in the summer.
That's the one. 135 miles in scorching heat. Just brutal.
Okay, and then there's the pull-up thing.
Yes, the Guinness World Record. 4,030 pull-ups.
How long did that take?
17 hours.
17 hours of pull-ups. It just bends your mind thinking about it. It really shows that capacity to push way, way beyond normal limits.
Physically and mentally, yeah.
So what's driving all this? What's the core philosophy? How does he do it?
For Goggins, pain and suffering aren't the enemy. They're not endpoints. They're actually the training ground.
The training ground.
Yeah. He talks about embracing discomfort, actively choosing the hard path, because that's where growth happens. It's not just tolerating hardship, it's seeking it.
So like leaning into the challenge intentionally.
Exactly. Building what he calls mental toughness, that inner strength, that resilience you build when things get really, really hard.
Okay, I get the concept. Embrace discomfort. Easy to say, but how do you actually start doing that, especially compared to his level?
Well, that brings us to maybe his most famous idea, the 40% rule.
Right, I've heard of this. Explain it.
Goggins believes that when your mind is screaming at you to stop, when you feel completely tapped out, you've actually only used about 40% of your real potential.
Only 40%. So you're basically just getting started when you think you're finished.
Pretty much. Your mind wants to quit early, protect you. But there's way more in the tank. It connects directly to needing to push past your comfort zone.
And that mantra he has.
I can take more. It's about constantly reminding yourself that what feels like the limit usually isn't.
That's both terrifying and kind of empowering. Okay, so he builds this incredible internal strength. How does he deal with external stuff like negativity, criticism, haters?
Ah, this is where his approach is really unique. He actually uses negativity. He calls hate mail and online insults reverse role models.
Wait, reverse role models, how does that work?
He literally takes the insults, the things people say to tear him down, and uses them as fuel during his training. Turns hate directly into motivation.
So he flips it completely. Instead of letting it hurt him, he makes it power him.
Exactly. It's a masterclass in controlling your reaction,
Right.
not letting external stuff define your internal state or your drive.
That's powerful stuff.
Ultimately, I think the big lesson from Goggins is this: it's your mind, not your body, that truly sets your limits.
Yeah.
By deliberately choosing discomfort, by pushing past that 40% point again and again, you can unlock potential you probably didn't even know you had.
So for everyone listening, what's the takeaway? The challenge, maybe?
We challenge you to just try applying one of these ideas this week. Maybe it's embracing discomfort.
Right. That difficult task you've been putting off, that tough workout.
Or even just a conversation you've been avoiding. Lean into it. See what happens when you push past that initial urge to back away or quit. Just observe that shift.
Notice the change in yourself.
Yeah. And maybe think about this. If someone like Goggins, coming from such intense trauma, can achieve the impossible by mastering his mindset, what limits have you set for yourself that maybe, just maybe, aren't real? What could you shed?
A lot to think about there. Powerful stuff.
Till next time.